Oh, okay. Are you doing the intro again this week?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the True Health Forever podcast, where we try to live the best life through the lens of holistic
holistic elves. Whoa, that's a whole new customer segment right there.
You didn't hear about the new holistic elves?
No. Well, it is Christmas time.
Oh,
I see what you
all
did
on
there.
Purpose.
It is about to be the holiday season. We are hoping that the elves, right, that are hard at work, that are traveling all around the world, delivering happiness to children all around the world. We hope that they are holistic and they are healthy.
We do.
All right, you can continue.
We'll just by that.
It's a manifestation of how this whole episode is about to go today. I'll let you know that right now.
Oh, my name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd, and I'm here as usual.
Yes.
With my handsome.
We're gonna do this every time now.
Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Positive.
Ooh.
Glowing. Galactic. Husband, God, little G. Here, right now. Who are you?
Listen, I love it when you do the intro. This is what you feel like every time. I'm telling y'all, we're going to switch this whole thing up. But what's going on, y'all? Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. Queen, are you ready?
Are you ready for some podcast?
All right, we're out. Yes. Come on.
Hey.
Jamon Lee.
Jamon.
Oh, that mood just always reminds me of Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
Yeah.
I asked my little sister the other day. I was like, "Have y'all seen Rush Hour?" Tyona said no, and then Sophia was like, "I don't know." I was like, "What?
You don't know?
Y'all haven't seen? This is a classic." And there was something that happened. I was like, "Oh, that was in Rush Hour." They're like, "What's Rush Hour?" I was like, "Oh Lord."
Does that make you
feel
I
old? Yes, Sinclair. It did. You know, things that you just assume people know because of your generation, because of how you grew up, that the younger kids just don't know. It's like, oh, I'm old now.
Yeah.
I'm in a different, I'm 2 generations removed.
They probably looked at each other like, what's going on?
Right? Like, what Prince? Like, what? You don't listen to Prince? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that your parents used to say. Anyway, Queen.
King. Is this the episode?
This is not. No, I'm not gonna punish people that much. But so you are now stepping fully into entrepreneurship. So for those that maybe don't know, for those who maybe this is their first episode listening, can you talk about what lane are you stepping into as an entrepreneur, and then maybe what are like 1 or 2 things that you had to really conquer to make this step, to make this decision?
Yeah. Lane I'm going into. So yes, I, as of Friday, as of less than 48 hours ago, am no longer working full-time, the full-time job that I was working. So
wait a minute, you're not just gonna skip past that like you didn't just say that right there.
See what you did there. So yes, taking the dive into full-time entrepreneurship. Thank you, Jair. Full-time entrepreneurship. And so for me, that's going to be my primary lane that I'm jumping into is health coaching. That's something that I've been talking about for years. Finally kind of officially dove into a couple of months ago. Got my first couple of clients. We are on and popping. But yeah, really looking to take that full time and just get a whole Rolodex of people that I am helping live their best life. Whether that's losing weight, whether that's getting more energy, balancing those hormones. All that stuff is what I'm really trying to be able to help folks do full time, because I just realized that, and this is like the journey that we've been going on. And if y'all don't know, like we don't just get on this podcast and talk about stuff and then like not live it.
Right.
Like this is really just an extension of our lives. So everything, it's been very interesting for me. When talking about like spiritual health and things like that, finding your passion and your purpose, like we've been doing that. You've watched us do that on this podcast for the past couple of years if you've been listening. If not, go back. We're on, what is this, episode 86?
This is 86.
Yeah. So we've been doing this for 86 episodes. So at some point, I learned that helping folks reach their health goals gave me a level of fulfillment that I really had never experienced before. Like and it started with like friends and family. That's how this whole business started. It started with like, hey, have you heard of intermittent fasting? I created this plan, here, test it out for me. And then like a couple months later, got a text from one of my friends like, oh, hey, by the way, like I'm still doing intermittent fasting and it's really working for me. Like, thank you for bringing this to me. And I was just like, oh, thanks. So you're welcome. Like, oh, that felt good. I've helped a lot of people indirectly through the king and his coworkers and people that, he's very good at marketing me.
Yes, I am.
So it'll be like, oh, by the way, I just had somebody ask for your smoothie book, or hey, we have someone to test out a recipe. Like, okay, cool. Had someone come to him and come to me, when I finally followed up with them. Oh yeah, I lost like 25 pounds, using your smoothie ebook. Like that type of stuff makes me,
appreciate you, Jay.
Yes, feel very good. And not in a like, I need credit for it or anything like that. It's just like, wow, I had a small part in helping somebody live their best life. Because imagine like, because I think what I think about is, what can they now accomplish that they weren't able to before? Right? Whether it's like, for some people, it's that confidence of like, I'm not really in front of the camera, but maybe you get more confident, you lose some weight, you have that energy, and now you're able to do the things that you weren't able to do before or didn't feel comfortable doing before. So the fact that I had even just a small part in helping you do that just makes me feel like I'm doing something on this earth.
Right.
And not that I didn't feel that with, my full-time job, but it not to this level. It wasn't like I got to hear the difference that I'm making. So yeah, that was in a nutshell kind of what I'm diving into. I don't remember like what the initial question was. But that's what I'm diving into. The other thing you asked was,
what are some things that you had to overcome, whether it's thought process, whether it's culture, tradition, like things that you had to overcome to make this leap? Because I feel like there are a lot of people that do want to make the leap, me included. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make that leap too. There's tons of people that we know that are trying to make that leap, but whether it's strategy, planning, self-doubt, family doubt, like self-sabotage, like there's tons of things that I think hold people back from making leaps in health, in business, in relationships. So for you in entrepreneurship, can you talk about what were those things that were holding you back?
Yeah. So the two things that I want to touch on are, one, the self-doubt and money. Because I think that those are the biggest things that held me back, whether physically or just as a superficial barrier. So the first thing is self-doubt. I think having dreams and aspirations is easy. Having them is easy, right?
Debatable, but yes, I will, for the sake of this argument, go ahead and let you have that.
Not everybody has them, but I mean, for the folks who have them, like it's not hard for you to dream, is it?
Gosh, no.
That's what I mean. No. Like for folks who dream and have aspirations, that part is not hard. The hard part is acting on them and actually making them come true. And I think that so envisioning, right, me being a health coach, helping all of these people, that's not hard. I do that all the time. But to actually put it into action and to believe that I can do it has been probably the hardest part. Because it's once you have got kind of really comfortable in a full-time job, if it's not what you want to do, I'm speaking to that person, right? If you love your full-time job and you're fulfilled, I'm not necessarily, that wasn't me. Right. That's not you. Right. But if you have that full-time job that doesn't necessarily pour into the cup like you want it to, and it doesn't feed your soul as much, it can be, I don't know. It's like you get comfortable And we've talked about this, I think maybe the last podcast, but you get comfortable doing something that you're not passionate about, right? But that comfort is still there and you get good at it, right? And it's like, okay, with not too much effort, right? I can do enough to get by and get this paycheck every 2 weeks.
Right.